Right, wicked. So, this video is going to be a little bit of a test just to see how loud and how well this mic is. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be absolute dog shit, and I'm sure the quality is going to be really, really bad. But I thought it'd be better than just constantly uploading no commentary stuff. So, since the last upload 2 days ago, I've had a really rough time ranking. I've been using a few different lists. And there's been very, very mixed results. But I've recently just stolen this list from somewhere online. I cannot remember where. It's kind of similar to what I was running before. What I was trying to use was this. So fairly similar, but like I quite like the whole Gambit Wong package. But now I sort of moved over to this sort of version. Which I'll be honest, it's climbed really, really well. So if like you like Mr. Negative and you feel quite confident, I think Zabu fits in really well. I think there's a lot of good synergy. When it lines up, obviously Ally Man's great. When it doesn't line up, you've got other options like Spider-Man, Absorbing Man. But yeah, just gonna play a few games for rank 81 at the moment, so not doing too badly. I like to at the start of each season just to try and get to Infinite as quickly as possible, so that then I can just sort of have a bit more fun messing around with decks. As there's like no turn 1 and only 1/2 drop in the deck, it's quite easy first couple of turns. Fab, no 2, easy pass. Been seeing quite a lot of Cerebro, quite a lot of discard. I thought, to be honest, there'd be a lot more Zabu on ladder. I mean, the day 1 experience was obviously, it was literally everywhere. But it seems to have died down quite a lot. I found this deck does quite well, but really, really struggles against Sandman. So whenever a Sandman shows up, that tends to be not great. I just like the Brood here in mids. Hopefully it just gets them the rock. If not, it's fine. You get a good buff from the Silver Surfer later. Nice big Human Torch. I think what we're going to go for here is we're probably going to go for Zabu, and then we're probably going to Wong Silver Surfer on 5 just before we swap hands. And then just leave him with sort of a bunch of garbage that he's not really going to be able to make use of. So, I'm hoping here this is enough. I mean, it's going to leave the right lane quite weak. But yeah, we'll sort of see how this goes. I think this is probably a retreat, but we'll see what he's got in his hand. I mean, obviously what we're giving him is a lot of rubbish. There's nothing here that's actually really any good. The Rogue can't steal anything useful, the Mystique's not going to do anything for him. Psylocke's obviously not very good. Spider-Man, yeah. But I mean, it's going to go back to costing 4 as well. So hopefully what we're just kind of looking for here is just some really, really big cards. Definitely going to lose right. But hopefully, I mean, we're definitely going to win mid, and then if he doesn't draw anything to move that Human Torch, I actually think we might be alright. We shall see. Even then, even if he moves the Human Torch left, I think we're fine. I mean, we've got his Heimdall. I'm going to snap here. I feel pretty confident that there's nothing he could play. And to be honest, I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to pass. I don't really see a way that he can get 14 power. I mean, if he's running Shang-Chi, then we might just lose here. But he's got 1 draw, and if he draws Shang-Chi, I've said it now. That's rough. That's rough. We have 1 draw. It's a bit crazy though, because he knew I had Heimdall, so imagine if I played the Heimdall, he would have just lost. Oh well. Yeah, not so I've found this deck really struggles with Mindscape. I wouldn't say it's like an instant retreat, but like a lot of the time I would kind of consider leaving if Mindscape shows up. Sinister London's great as a location for this deck. Rocks are obviously not preferable. just gonna go Jubilee right here, just because I think there's too much chance of grabbing a rock. I mean, really want to see Mr. Negative. That's not great, but it's still something that can be buffed later with Silver Surfer, so...
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
This might be a concede. If he snaps, I'm definitely going to concede just because this Spider-Man, Absorbing Man combo is really obnoxious. It kind of depends whether... Yeah, let's see which lane it webs. Yeah. We're out of there. I could have gone back. Yeah, fair play. So I've been playing Marvel Snap since since global launch, and I just literally have quite an obnoxious addiction to this game. So I've got Infinite every season since global launch, normally within the first week. Like I said, I just really like to sort of get it out there quickly. I used to play Hearthstone all the time. This has kind of taken over from Hearthstone for me. I only ever hit Legend once in Hearthstone though. I played Hearthstone for about 7 odd years, but I never really vibed with sort of like playing a lot of meta decks. Whereas like with Snap, I mean normally I sort of do make a lot more of my own decks. This is sort of the first time in a while that I've kind of taken someone else's list. I mean, I think like a lot of the reason I have this time is just because I was going backwards and forwards between like 63 and 70 all day yesterday, and I just got frustrated, to be honest, and I'd rather play a Mr. Negative deck than something like Dinosaurs or something. Yeah. Alright, how do we want to play this? I mean, he can't play into the Vault next turn, so we could just lock him out of everything, which I don't think is terrible. We've got Wong, Silver Surfer. It's just sort of a case of do we want to make him skip a turn? I think this guy's probably could be running Cerebro. Obviously, it's quite hard to say. I think we'll just lock him out both lanes just so we sort of get an extra turn to ourselves. Okay, Bishop. That's cool, because if they're running Sarah, they're going to miss their 5, so now they won't get their Sarah turn. Which puts us in a really nice spot to sort of get ahead. Oh, you know what? I thought that was Kiln. I don't know what's wrong with me. That was a very silly mistake on my part. Never mind, they will 100% get their Sarah turn. So, in that case, I'm going to preempt Sarah, play Rogue here. If it misses, it's fine. It will still get the Wong buff. Rude. Okay, cool. I don't know. It feels like it's like a Silver Surfer sort of Miracle deck, same as this one, but at the same time, the guy's kind of playing it in a way that it feels like it could be Cerebro. But yeah, this should be a win. I think I'm going to quite happily... I think I'm going to snap here. I feel pretty good about this. I think he's not had any discounts or anything, so he can't sort of Silver Surf or buff these brutes. If it's Cerebro, for good knows what reason, he's got this Bishop, so surely it would buff it up a bit. Killmonger's fine. Don't run any 1-drops. Silver Surfer. Yeah, it's just a standard Silver Surfer attack. Oh, good. This should be a win, I believe. I might have my maths might not be great here, but this Surfer's going to go off 4 times, so we definitely win right. Yeah, this would be a win. Yeah, so even though the Rogue missed over here, obviously it's still just a really good Surfer target. Because when I was looking at this list, I was a bit like, I get it. Everyone's running Zabu. Like, it's good to have the Rogue. And it obviously is helpful in other situations as well. You know, you got Devil Dinosaurs out there, etc., etc. But I just don't really feel like I get a lot of value out of Rogue whenever I try to put it in my own decks. But to be fair, it's a target for Surfer, which helps a lot. And to be honest, a lot of the time with this deck, you are aiming for these big turns where you got Wong, you probably got Mystique, and you've got Surfer, and it buffs it a lot. So it does fit well. Cool. Lemuria doesn't affect us at all. This is very reminiscent of the kind of decks I used to play on Hearthstone as well, in terms of like, it's obviously not a control deck, but when I used to play control decks, I'm used to just passing a lot of early turns. Uh, we'll play for Asgard. Card draw's really, really good. I think unless we draw Mr. Negative here, yeah, we'll go Spider-Man mid. I think there's a lot of flexibility as well when you're playing sort of like this kind of like Mr. Negative sort of hybrids, sort of like control deck. Okay, wicked, easy brute. So at the moment we've currently got 5 cards in our deck, so we're going to draw our whole deck this game, which is wicked. We're really looking to hit Mr. Negative here though. We want the Silver Surfer to stay in the deck so that we can hopefully get more value by using him with Wong as well. Okay, not ideal. Ah, wicked. So now we've only got 2 cards left in the deck, so we can 100% Surfer here. Surfer, Mr. Negative here. And then hopefully we draw the Surfer. If not, we can always pull it using Jubilee, but obviously the one won't be discounted, so this one might be a little bit tight. Interesting. So, how do we play around Arnim Zola here? So we'll be hitting 22 and left if it goes left. I mean, if he Arnim's mid, then like that's cool. We win mid. So what we would be doing is this, and then this will give us an extra 18. So this brings this up to 24. If he Arnim's this, he'll get 16. He'll get 23. So if it's Arnim Zola, we win. But funnily enough, if he plays just like Odin or just plays for middle or right, we lose. I kind of have a feeling it's Arnim Zola. I kind of want to take a risk. He hasn't snapped. If he snaps, I'll back up. Ah, Doctor Doom. Yeah, I guess that's an option as well. That was a bit greedy. Like, it's just a shame to get the Mr. Negative so late, and the Zabu's the bottom card on the deck. So obviously, like, we just didn't have the discounts to sort of cheese out. We'd had like the Mystique or something similar. We just didn't have anything to buff mid lane that was a free, which is a shame. But like, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. Probably should have retreated there. I felt like I should have retreated, but I just kind of was like, oh, if it's Arnim Zola, you know, I guess. But I don't think you see the old Arnim Zola combo as much anymore, so. Kids. This is a featured location. It's just really, really irritating because obviously we don't have much early power. We're looking to play Psylocke into Mr. Negative, so it's barely even worth fighting for. Normally this lane ends up being a junk lane, and I always find that if I play Psylocke into it, as I'm going to now, it just incentivizes the enemy to go, oh, they're fighting for it. I better play something, and then obviously next turn, if we play Mr. Negative, we just instantly get the rock. And it's not too bad, sort of having, Forum is perfect, so just dump Mr. Negative on it, and it'll kill him straight away. It's not too bad having like a dump lane with this deck, because the nice thing you can do is if you just put a free cost card, like a single free cost in with say the rock, and if that had been Mr. Negative, we can still buff it. That's really good. We don't want to snap too early, because these discard games can get away from you a bit. We can sort of make him skip a turn, which I think might just be worth doing as we've got the Iron Man in hand.
Spider-Man here.
Especially as they just pass now, that's really good for us. I think, because I've got this Jubilee, I'm going to snap here. We're going to play... Ah, it's turn 5, isn't it? Yeah. I really want to play this Mystique next turn, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to Zabu... Or are we going to Mystique next turn? Yeah, I think we just play Iron Man, Jubilee. I mean, it would be a bit of a shame to hit the Wong here. Oh wait, if we're doing... almost messed up. Jubilee, Iron Man. We're floating quite a few energy, but I think that's fine. It's like, I'm not really too worried about Enchantress or anything. I just want to get some good stats in. Rogue's good, Rogue Synergizer with Surfer. That's nice. Give me something I can play with Surfer and Mystique, please. Absorbing Man. Kind of regret snapping now. I felt a lot safer than I do now. I mean, to be fair, It's tricky because I want to play. I feel like he hasn't played anything on Vormir yet, so if he plays just like Hela, for example, or something, it's kind of best in our odds' favour. Okay, he's just going for the Vormir. This could be bad. It's going to depend what that first discard card is. It's probably going to be something Ghost Rider and we're going to get cucked. Dracula. Gah. Tough. Yeah, that was a bit of an early snap on my part. It's a bit obnoxious. I feel like I've gone up 11 ranks today, and now that I've tried recording and sort of showing how this deck can be good, and sort of like trying to be like, yeah, I'm okay at Marvel Snap, you know, infinite player, etc. It's just gone to shit. But yeah, there's a lot of things I want to try out. The cards that I'm missing from Series 3 are like, I think I'm collection level 3050 something now, and the last sort of 2-3 cards I've unlocked have literally been Ghost Rider, Hela, and Destroyer. So up until this point, I've seen obviously a lot of like Destroy decks, a lot of cool decks sort of like that, and I've just not been able to play them. I think I got, what did I get really early on? I got something that's kind of like a staple Series 3 staple really early on and sort of didn't appreciate it and just sort of thought it was still Series 2. So I haven't had like the worst luck. I'm just going to Jubilee here, kind of hoping that I can hopefully just get this against the Sandman. Would be really, really nice. I don't know which order these trigger in, whether, because I always thought that the locations on the left would trigger first. But sometimes the ones on the right go first, so I don't know. Ooh, that's nice. Can't complain about that. Yeah, so because that's obviously triggered first on that one, now he's going to get a draw, which is very sad. What are you going to do? This is looking nice, though. We've got the Silver Surfer, we've got the Wong, we've got like a really good combo for turn 6. I think what we're going to do is, we're just going to slap the Iron Man here. That'll sort of win right. And then hopefully there just isn't anything too big coming down and left. Cool. Terrifying. I think we win this. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to go for the snap. I know last game when I went for the snap, it did not go well. Oh, and they've snapped back, and that makes me really nervous. And now I'm kind of thinking, like, obviously Cosmo would be the worst thing possible here. So we kind of got a choice. We can either do it in left, which might be better, or we can do it in middle. Instinctively, I just wanted to do it in left. I don't know why. I guess because there's no Mr. Negative, so it's like a higher base power. I feel like if I play it in left, if there's a Cosmo, I should have just gone with my gut instinct and done it the other way around. Just don't be Cosmo. I don't mind losing, as long as it's not Cosmo. Oh, God. Okay, cool. Patriots is obviously not great. It's a lot of power. I think we're good, though. I think we're good. Also, the way I ordered that panicked me so much. The Wong revealed, and I was like, no, I haven't done it the wrong way around, have I? Wicked. Nice saves Cuba. I think a lot of people, the thing about Mr. Negative decks is they just don't expect your combo. It obviously comes down a lot on, like, turn 6. And that's where you get a lot of the power. It's obviously, like, enhanced by Zabu, like, Wong's, like, 1 energy, which is crazy. And, like, obviously the biggest problem of sort of, like, running a deck like this without Zabu or pre-Zabu or without Mr. Negative is you just can't really play Wong and Silver Surfer consistently on turn 6 without sort of having something like Psylocke. But now that there's kind of Zabu as well, even though it doesn't affect the Surfer, you normally have the you normally have the energy to get like a flexible Surfer off, but you struggle to get the Wong as well. Ah, Thanos deck. It's tricky. I always feel bad playing the Psylocke when we don't necessarily have a turn 4, because if we draw Brood or Zabu here, I'll play it over like Absorbing Man. When I was sort of running like a shell that used like Serra as part of its core, I found that like Psylocke into sort of Absorbing Man into Serra is kind of good as well. My sort of gut instinct when Zabu came out was to just sort of put him in a deck with Serra and Mr. Negative. And I think it's good, but I actually think the problem is there's not enough sort of like consistent kind of finisher cards at the moment. Like obviously Iron Man Mystique is a really good sort of combo, and so is the Surfer Wong. but there just needs to sort of be something with a bit more pizzazz. So, this is an interesting one. I'm not going to get too attached to either of these locations, because as it's Thanos deck, he's obviously got the reality stones, so we could change him. Tricky. I kind of want to play the Wong, but it's kind of throwing me off that the guy's playing Thanos, as I can't really think of like what kind of Thanos list it would be apart from a Lockjaw. I'm just going to play Wong in left, because I mean, if he Enchantress or something similar, like, you know, he's obviously got his Quinjet there, will hit it as well. Cool, it's Lockjaw. Wicked. Guess my Psylocke's dying then. Cool, I think my guy's got a full hand, yeah. I absolutely adore Thanos. If I wasn't trying to reach Infinite, I'd definitely be playing a Thanos deck now, but kind of want to just... This gets shut down really hard by Enchantress or Rogue or something similar, but I think I kind of just have to go down this line of play. I'm kind of thinking I might just play the Iron Man on Atlantis if I don't sort of draw like Brood or anything similar. If I draw Brood, the sort of like logical path I see from here is probably like this Psylocke's going to go. So next turn's probably Brood, and then last turn will be Silver Surfer. Or alternatively, I could always do something next turn, like if I draw Zabu, I could do Zabu and then do Silver Surfer, Absorbing Man, or like Zabu, Surfer, Brood. I probably would play Mr. Negative if I drew him, to be honest. Because the flexible thing, again, I've obviously got Rogue, so like worst case scenario, I can always just Rogue on Silver Surfer and right, which would be a good amount of power. I kind of like the sneaky sort of Iron Man play, right? It kind of gives you the same sort of power as Namor, but like I feel like it's not good enough to sort of do it in that respect. Ooh, that's spicy. There he is, the big man himself. Okay. I think the thing about Lockjaw decks, which I find really sort of... I wouldn't say it's like a negative, but like obviously it's kind of like... Where you sort of chuck with this stuff here and it gets put down randomly, we kind of now know exactly what we're dealing with. So we're probably just going to give up on right, because we don't have any way of dealing with Big Boy. And 18 power is like a lot. We can definitely beat 25. If we drew Brood, perhaps... Ooh, see now this is spicy. So if he doesn't have any way of dealing with this, if we play the Brood, and then we get 4 times 3, which is 12, times 3, 36, we actually can win right quite easily. It's just, where else do we sort of play? Do you know what I mean? And I mean, potentially, we could go all in on this. And if we drop an Iron Man here, then this is going to go up quite a lot as well. I think this is the right line. Because we're just not going to have the energy to play Iron Man next turn. And then we just kind of have to hope that he doesn't have Enchantress or Cosmo. Cool, Giganto. Winnable, let's snap. We got him. And at this point, unless there's some card that I'm not thinking of, something crazy, I don't actually think we can lose. Play Surfer here. That's going to go up to sort of like... Oh, I might have done the math wrong. We might have played ourselves. It's not going to be enough, is it? Because it'll do 24, right? And then we're going to lose another 3. Fuck. I played myself. Is there any other way I can sort of do this that might work? I don't think so. I think we're just going to have to take the L. Shouldn't have snapped, and I was about to play that the wrong way around. I mean, at least we can beat right. At least we can beat his Thanos, you know? God, why'd it have to be Giganto, eh? This is literally going to come up like a few powers short. This is so sad. Oh, that makes it even worse. It's just kind of mental. I mean, I get it. It's a Lockjaw deck, right? I don't know if this is like an official list. I haven't seen many sort of Thanoses where I'm to, but... Just short 20. Fuck. Well, that was silly. I deserved that one. Alright, let's keep going. Yeah, so like I said, I kind of like, I think I started this morning, and I was around sort of like rank 67. I kind of been playing on and off all day, and now I'm about 81. I was sort of struggling this morning. I was using my own sort of Mr. Negative list, really struggling. I think this one is a lot better. Um, I really, really like it. The only thing that bothers me is I'm like a bit of like a Sunspot lover, and I know a lot of people do like Sunspot. I know a lot of people think Sunspot isn't that good. I definitely fall into the category of people. I'm just gonna stick Zabu over here. I think that's like a nice, easy win. You can kind of sneak it in with the Wong Silver Surfer. I know a lot of people just don't like uh, Sunspot, but I, for one, am a big fan. Because of what this sort of Mr. Negative hit, I'm kind of considering. Nah, it's just too good to get him down. Iceman always manages to hit just the right card as well, like without fail. Okay, cool. Now we have the Mystique. So I am torn. I'm kind of thinking. The only problem I have with playing Iron Man mid is just in case of rogues. I think we're going to ignore it this time, and we're going to go for... I feel like we really need to fight for mid here, so we're going to do this, and then let's see where we go with this. Magic. Okay, cool. Wicked. I'm kind of glad I haven't played my Iron Man yet. This sort of gives it a bit of different perspective. I'd be very keen to see Absorbing Man. Cool. So, sort of a different game now. I think we want to Iron Man mid, Mystique right, and then that'll do for now. I think hopefully we have priority going into this next turn. Because if he... Oh, beautiful. I was really worried about him roguing. My what's it called? Ooh, am I still going to have priority though? If I've got priority, I can rogue as Wong, and then that should be a nice free win. And then we just got rogue, Silver Surfer, Absorbing Man. That's going to give us an absolutely nuts amount. This is a snap, guys. 100%. If we lose this one, I'm going to call it a day, because I'm clearly embarrassing myself at that point. I promise I'm an infinite gamer. I promise I can do it. But this is wicked. It's definitely going to be Silver Surfer, probably Absorbing Man as well, maybe. Maybe it's something else, maybe it's Gambit. Gambit could still win this. Gambit could be really nasty. I'm probably, if it's a Gambit player, I'm probably most concerned about losing one of the Iron Men. Cool. Yeah. It's just not enough though. Oof, he even got one of the Iron Men. Oh, he got the Mystique. But yeah, look at that. Took out 37 power. That was actually quite close. Beautiful, beautiful. I am impartial. I am partial to doing a Gambit sort of version of the Mr. Negative myself, but I think that might be what was actually tanking my win rate a bit. And I think if I had cut Mr. Negative from my original package and gone with this sort of like... if I had stuck Spider-Man in instead of Gambit, and I also had Bishop in my other build, I think like... Maybe my own build would have worked a bit better. But as I was saying before, I'm a big lover of Sunspot. See, right now I'm like looking at this and I'm like, I would love to just put a Sunspot in. Hopefully we just hit Brood. Brood would be really nice. I find my win rate against discards is like a lot more favorable and a lot more happy than some of the other archetypes. It's slowed down a lot now, but the anti-Zabu decks really, like the Sandman specifically, really preys on this. Like, if you play Mr. Negative and Sandman's in the meta, you will struggle. That was a dope Death variant as well. Very nice. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Wong here as well. I just really want the buff, and I also feel like... Okay, Jubilee. Cool, Giganto. So maybe it's time to give up on this lane. We got some nice options here though. Jubilee is obviously really cool. I don't actually know what we really want to see from a Jubilee here. I kind of want to just play Jubilee and then... It's a bit tricky. could just Jubilee Absorbing Man, but like doesn't really do anything. Bastard, this is like a great location for us, but it's just really like sort of plunky right now. I think we'll just play the Mystique, mainly for stats, but also because it will obviously copy the Wong, which means that if something does come off the Jubilee that's on reveal, it'll go off twice. I don't actually think I have any other on reveals in the deck. I mean, oh, I've got Spider-Man to be fair. Spider-Man could be good. It sort of depends what that last card is in their hand that they're going to play. I mean, they've just played that out. I feel like it's probably going to be Apocalypse or Hela. They got 2 cards in hand. It could be a Swarm, I guess. Brute. Okay, Brute's not bad. Yeah, so they've snapped. So we can add. So if we play this here and we play this here, we can add 24 to left, and we can add 24 to right. We're sort of taking a very big gamble. I mean, the problem is, if they've got Gambit and they just play Gambit and mids, unless it snipes out some very specific targets, we're just going to lose. I think we just retreat from this one. I just don't think it's worth the cube loss. I think part of like climbing with a Mr. Negative deck as well is like you've got to play for like the last game. So like a lot of the time I kind of like look at what ranked level I'm at, whether I'm like 81 to like 82 or whatever. This guy's called Sunspot and actually has a Sunspot logo. Whether I'm like 80 to like 81, I'll sort of look at it and be like, okay, cool. As long as I don't go below 80, I'm still doing well. And then when I get an 8 cube win and I go up a tier, I'm like, cool. Now I'm 81. If I go below 81, I've sort of let myself down. I also, like I said earlier, I've only just unlocked Destroyer. So like I was playing a bit of ongoing Destroyer, and that was going really well. But then I just got really, really confident and just be like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to lose this game. Which obviously resulted in me losing quite a few cubes. And that's kind of how it normally goes down. Obviously, like I said, I really, really like Marble Snap. And I find that like when I'm playing it more seriously, like now, I make really good decisions. When I'm sort of playing it casually, I'll just, you know, once I'm infinite, I'll just stick around just to see people's combos, etc. I feel like it's a really good way of learning. This is probably Cerebro. I hope so anyway. I reckon it's Cerebro too. You know, you got your Daredevil, you got your Storm. It seems like Cerebro too. So I'm not going to throw it away. Oh, am I going to throw it away? I want to put the Rogue down just so we sort of have something on that side of the field. I'm going to go for it. Green Goblin. See, Green Goblin's actually not that bad because we obviously hit the Wong and then the Silver Surfer and it's just another free drop. So that's actually not terrible for us. This could be Galactus, I guess. Okay. I feel like this guy is 100% running, what's it called? Bloody Hobgoblin. So I'm just not even going to play into that lane. This, to be honest, is looking like a bit of a loss. But we're going to play for left. We're going to ignore him because he's going to play his Hobgoblin in the middle, surely. Yep. Or it might be Professor X. He might just Professor X left. Which would be quite nutty. I kind of want to stick around and see it though. Because if it's the Hobgoblin, I think we can beat it. If he's running Professor X... Oh no. Oh man, fair play. Yeah. You see, it feels so much worse when you see it coming. I was just adamant it was Hobgoblin. See, I've had so many people on a ladder in the last sort of 24 hours playing Cerebro 2. And I'm playing Hobgoblin, that now I'm just convinced every time anyone's playing a couple of 2 energy cards and I don't see like a 3 energy card or like Blue Marvel or something, I'm like, oh yes, this is definitely Cerebro. It cannot be anything else but Cerebro. Just sort of a fool. I should have retreated on the spot there, to be honest. I was just kind of curious. Cool. Nexus is a good one for us. This guy's playing this card, which is sick. As long as he doesn't have... Well, he might have Gambit. But as long as he doesn't Sniper Iron Man, that leaves us in a really good spot. Cool. Don't have a card anyway. It does make for really quick games as well, not having a 1 or 2 drop. I know we got, obviously, Apocalypse. Beautiful. Ooh, that is a lovely effect. Look at that. I think we're just going to play Zabu here. And then I think we're probably going to aim to win this by just sort of playing Spider-Man into Absorbing Man and Iron Man and just sort of locking him out of the lane. Brood's cool as well. Next time we can get Brood down. It'll be really nice to draw a Wong. I think we snap if we draw a Wong. Cool.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Or I could just go Iron Man here. And then the next turn just Mystique Surfer. That would be a lot of power. I mean, the only thing that this obviously really loses to is Gambit, which is obviously quite tough. I probably won't snap on this one, because a lot of these guys are running Gambit. Oh my goodness. That might even be a Gambit play there.
I am Iron Man.
This is very tricky. As he snapped, I'm just going to leave. It's probably Gambit. I don't really have a good counterplay. As he had priority there as well, it's not like I could even rogue to steal the Wong. Which is unfortunate and very sad, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I think sometimes where you've got these locations like Nexus, where you really need to fight for power against sort of more faster tempo decks like this card, we do really struggle. Cool. New York is pretty meaningless to us. But yeah, as you can probably see by this point, if you haven't already sort of seen a Mr. Negative deck, like, this is a deck that relies a lot upon, like, using the retreat mechanic. I think, like, coming from a Hearthstone background and everything, there was a lot of games where sort of, like, I'd play for, like, 20-30 minutes, which is a long time, a big time commitment, and then obviously conceding felt like giving up, like, a huge commitment. Whereas, obviously, like, with Snap, the way the game's tempo is and everything, it's completely different. It feels completely different. Nice Zero into Zatu. Is this a bot? Am I getting a bit of bot sympathy? Because I've just fucked up several games. We shall see. Venom. Okay. Interesting. There's our good old rock. Easy Mr. Negative. I would play Jubilee, but I obviously I'm a bit concerned about drawing Wong. This Crimson Cosmos really screws with us as well. I kind of want to... We can play Spider-Man in mid, and then if we hit something that's been Mr. Negative that's 0, we can play it in mid. This is kind of tricky. Crimson Cosmos is like one of the biggest counters to this deck. Wicked, love Scorpion. That card is also a huge counter.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Sick. 0 mana, 0 energy Iron Man is great. It's just tricky because is it going to be big enough on its own? Probably not. I think we're probably looking to... I kind of don't want to play this Jubilee, but if the Jubilee hits Wong, it's really good. We got 4 cards left in our deck. This Brood with 1 health could be really good. I don't want to just pass a turn. I really don't. So I think I might just Mystique an Iron Man like this. Okay, cool. Sarah's kind of like good and bad.
Iron Man. I am Iron Man.
Okay. Wong is a card. Wicked. The only problem I've got here is I just don't have a good... I don't know if I want to stay for this, because the Iron Man just... I mean, I guess I could move the Iron Man across, but that doesn't help me. We kind of need to win right as well, right? So, unless we just give up on left, assuming that maybe he's just thinking, oh, let's just get Eternity range, but then this doesn't really... Oh, we're just gonna have to leave it, guys. It's just that Crimson Cosmos is just such a tough location to sort of play around with this deck. Especially with Eternity range as well. Just like the rock there really does make a difference. So we could have got something off of Jubilee, which might have been quite helpful and relevant. Okay. Warrior Falls is fine. It's kind of like a dead lane, but then it's also like really good because you can just chuck the negative out, give it a negative. Miniaturized Lab's a bit slow. We'll just play Psylocke into it. Running out of board space as well is sometimes something which you kind of find with this deck. I mean, Brood is literally one of the last Series 3 cards that I've got. I'm only missing about 9 now, I think. But like, I've wanted Brood for probably like 2,000 collection levels, as I'm sure a lot of people have. And I finally got Brood in my token shop, so I was just like, that's it, I'm buying Brood. I've already got Wong here. My biggest fear when playing Jubilee is that it's going to give Silver Surfer. It does kind of nut us a bit. Hopefully it's not. Okay, well that didn't draw Silver Surfer, so chances are here comes Silver Surfer. Oh no, Brood. Well, that's kind of annoying, because now we don't get a turn 5. I could just plant the Wong. It's a bit scary though, because obviously if he plays literally anything here, we lose it. But no, cool, okay. Okay, let's hope, yeah, this could be good. So, we're on turn 5, we can't play anything obviously. I'm thinking, depending on what he does in right, we might just play a Mystique, and Silver Surfer we might stick it out. It sort of depends on what comes down here. So if we see something a la Devil Dinosaur, which is possible, might be in a bit of trouble. I don't know, it's got 7 cards in hand. Oh, whoops, I haven't ended my turn. He probably thinks I'm BMing. Oh cool, Devil Dinosaur, I haven't seen that in a while. So, he's going to play a second dino, right? So he's going to have 15. If we play this here, that's not actually going to hit enough to beat 15. 15 plus 7, so 26 is what we've got to beat over here. So we kind of have to hope. We kind of have to hope he plays at mid. Because if we just play it... Actually, if we play it normally, we gain 18. So this is 25. So if he loses 2 to play the other dinosaur... Oh, it's tricky. I really don't want to concede from this one. It's just a classic 50-50. I mean, it makes sense that he'd play it in Warrior Falls, but then why wouldn't you just play it in Miniaturized Lab? Like... Oh, it's 50-50. He's probably going to play it on Falls. I'm going to lose. Yep. Wicked. Oh, Claw... What? Okay. It's interesting. I am very, very glad I didn't concede now. I think it just takes a lot of people by surprise though, but I just don't know why you wouldn't just play the second dinosaur and left. I mean, I guess maybe you'd be worried about Shang-Chi. But then even if I Shang-Chi'd, like, I still would have lost. It's very bizarre. Okay, cool. Well, either way, the main point of this video was to sort of just test out this mic. So this might not even make it onto YouTube, so I might have just wasted a good 20-30 minutes of my life. But yeah, it's been fun, and if anyone's actually made it this far, feel free to leave some feedback. It would be really appreciated. I will catch you guys next time.